You feel it, don't you? That hollow space in your chest where their laughter, their words, their presence used to be. Now it's just an empty echo, a reminder of what once was. Isn't it ironic how they never saw your worth when you were right there, giving, sacrificing, breaking yourself to fit into their world? And now that you've walked away, now that you've finally had enough, they're scrambling, desperate to get you back. Typical. They took you for granted. Every ounce of effort, every piece of your soul you handed over, they treated it like air. Always there, always expected. You could have been bleeding in front of them, and they still would have asked for more. They only saw what they could take, never what they had. When someone is always there, always showing up, no matter how badly they're treated, people stop valuing them. That's the game. That's human nature. They assumed you'd never leave. They assumed you'd always be waiting. But you walked away. You chose yourself. And now look at them, lost, confused, drowning in their own regrets. The silence you left behind is suffocating them, isn't it? The absence of you burns more than your presence ever did. Here's the brutal truth. They don't miss you. Not really. They miss what you did for them. They miss the comfort, the stability you provided. They come back not because they suddenly realized your worth, but because they can't handle the void. They thought you'd always be there. They thought you were weak. They mistook your kindness for weakness, your loyalty for stupidity. But now they see the truth, and it terrifies them. Let me tell you something. People never regret hurting you in the moment. They regret it when the consequences hit. When they wake up one day and realize no one is picking up their calls like you did. When they're drowning in their own misery and the lifeline they once had, you, is gone. That's when it hits them. But here's what you need to understand. Regret is not love. Missing you is not love. It's desperation. It's the panic of realizing they lost something irreplaceable. People don't cherish what they can always have. They only value what they fear losing. And you, my dear, were never the problem. They were. They never deserved you to begin with. And yet, here they are, crawling back, saying all the right words, making all the right promises. But tell me this, where was all this effort when you were breaking inside? Where was this urgency when you needed them? Where was this regret when you were screaming inside, waiting for them to see you? Oh, but now they see you. Now they see you everywhere, in every empty space, in every moment of loneliness, in every laugh that doesn't sound as real as it did when you were around. They'll search for you in every person they meet, but they'll never find you. Because what you gave them, no one else can. I know there's a part of you that wants to believe them, that wants to take them back, that wants to hear them say, I was wrong. I see your worth now. But tell me this, why did it take losing you for them to see it? Love isn't about realizing someone's value when they're gone. Love is about never taking them for granted in the first place. Do you really think they've changed? Or do they just hate the consequences of their actions? Do they miss you Or do they miss the way you made them feel? Look into their eyes. Do you see guilt? Or do you see fear? Fear that they lost their comfort. Fear that you won't play the game anymore. Fear that they now have to face the world without your strength. Now, you stand at a crossroads. You can let them back in. Go back to being the one who bends, who forgives, who allows them to take without ever giving. Or you can walk away for good. You can choose yourself this time. You can let them feel the full weight of their choices. Because trust me, nothing teaches people faster than loss. They won't learn their lesson if you keep cushioning the fall. They won't change if you keep giving them second chances. They won't respect you if they know you'll always take them back. Let them drown in the silence they created. Let them sit in the emptiness they brought upon themselves. Let them suffer the consequences of their own arrogance. People like them never think about losing you until it's too late. They always assume you'll stay, no matter how badly they treat you. They believe you'll always be an option. So let them see what life is like without you. Let them feel the weight of every ignored message, every dismissed emotion, every moment they made you feel small. They took you for granted. Now they're desperate to return. But here's the final question. Do they deserve to? Because I think you already know the answer. Oh, I know that doubt creeping into your mind. That little whisper telling you to reconsider. That tiny voice saying, maybe they've changed. Maybe this time will be different. Maybe they finally see me. But let's be brutally honest. If someone truly values you, truly respects you, they never put you in a position where you have to wonder. They never make you beg for the bare minimum. And yet, here you are, after everything, still entertaining the idea that they deserve another chance. But let me ask you, how many times have you been here before? How many times did they leave, come back with the same rehearsed words, and then repeat the cycle all over again? Because that's what this is. A cycle, a pattern, a game where they always win and you always lose. They know exactly how to play you. They know exactly what words to use, what emotions to trigger, what memories to resurrect. They know how to reel you back in just enough to keep you on the hook, but never enough to truly value you. And the worst part? They don't even need to lie to you. They just let you lie to yourself. They let you fill in the blanks, let you believe in their changed behavior, let you convince yourself that this time is different. But deep down, you know the truth, don't you? You feel it buried beneath the hope, beneath the longing. You know that the second you let them back in, the second you open that door, they'll slip right back into their old ways. Because that's who they are. Because they never changed. People don't change unless they have to. And you never made them face the full cost of losing you. You've always been there, always willing to forgive, always ready to believe in them one more time. And that's the problem. People only learn when they have no other choice, when the loss is permanent, when they have to wake up every day knowing that what they had is gone, not temporarily, but forever. Only then do they understand. Only then do they truly regret. But even then, regret does not erase actions. Regret does not undo the past. Regret does not rebuild trust. It only reminds them of their own failures, their own selfishness, their own inability to hold on to something real. And you are not their lesson to learn. You are not their redemption story. You are not the prize at the end of their guilt trip. You are the one who suffered. You are the one who gave. You are the one who broke yourself trying to be enough for people who never deserved you in the first place. So tell me, what exactly do they deserve now? Another chance? Another opportunity to hurt you? Another invitation back into your life so they can repeat the cycle? Number. What they deserve is silence. What they deserve is absence. What they deserve is to feel the full force of their actions without the comfort of knowing you'll still be there when they're done playing their games. They took you for granted. They assumed you would always be available. They thought your love, your care, your loyalty was infinite. They believed they could push you aside whenever it was convenient and pick you back up whenever they felt like it. And now they are drowning in the consequences of their arrogance. Now they are suffocating in the emptiness they created. Now they are desperate, scrambling, reaching for something that no longer belongs to them. But here's where you finally take control. Here's where you stop being their safety net. Here's where you let them sink. Because the truth is, they were never afraid of losing you. They were afraid of losing what you did for them. They were afraid of facing life without your strength, without your patience, without your unwavering support. They were never afraid of breaking you. They were only afraid of you realizing your own worth. And now that you have, they are terrified. Because they know they can't manipulate you anymore. They know they can't dangle empty words in front of you like bait. They know that this time you're serious. And that scares them more than anything. Because you were their lifeline. You were their stability. You were the one they ran to when everything else failed. And now they have to face the reality of who they are without you. Now they have to sit in the mess they created. Now they have to learn, truly learn, what it means to lose something that can never be replaced. And that, my dear, is not your problem. That is not your burden to carry. That is theirs. So let them come crawling. Let them cry. Let them beg. Let them feel every ounce of the pain they so easily inflicted upon you. And then you walk away. Then you remind yourself of every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, every time you wondered if you were enough. Then you remember who you were before they made you question your worth. Then you remind yourself that you were never the one who lost anything. They were, because the moment they took you for granted, they lost the one thing they will spend the rest of their lives searching for. And you finally found yourself. And that is worth more than anything they could ever offer. And now, in the silence you left behind, they rot. They sit in the darkness of their own making, tormented by memories of you, your voice, your presence, your unwavering loyalty. They replay every moment, every conversation, every time they dismissed you with indifference, and it eats them alive. They stare at their phone, debating whether to type another apology, another desperate plea, another lie disguised as sincerity. But deep down, they know. They know the damage has been done. They know the bridge has been burned. They know that no matter how many words they spill, they can never undo the truth. And the truth is this: you were the best thing that ever happened to them. And they threw it away like it was nothing. They mistook your patience for weakness. They mistook your silence for submission. They mistook your love for something disposable. But love, real love, is not disposable. And neither are you. And you see it now, don't you? The cycle, the manipulation, the way they dangle just enough hope in front of you to keep you on the hook, but never enough to truly change. They never feared losing you because you never truly left. You walked away before, but you always looked back. You always left the door open just enough for them to slide back in. And they knew it. They counted on it. But this time is different. This time, you are no longer waiting on the other side. This time, you are not checking your phone, not hoping for an apology, not sitting in a pool of your own regrets, wondering if you made the right choice. This time, the only regret belongs to them, and that is a weight they will carry for the rest of their lives. But don't mistake their regret for love. Don't mistake their apologies for change. People don't suddenly grow a conscience when they lose you. They only realize the value of what they had when they are forced to live without it. That's not love. That's loss. That's the sharp sting of knowing they ruined something irreplaceable. That's the crushing weight of realizing that they had something real, something rare, something others search for their entire lives, and they destroyed it with their own hands. And that's the thing about regret. It doesn't heal. It doesn't erase. It doesn't fix what's been broken. It just lingers, a constant reminder of the mistakes they can never undo. And while they drown in their own guilt, you rise. While they sit in the wreckage of their own destruction, you rebuild. While they look for you in every empty space, in every fleeting moment of nostalgia, in every face they meet, you move forward because you finally understand. You were never the one who lost anything. They were the ones who took you for granted. They were the ones who assumed you'd always be there. They were the ones who gambled with your heart and lost. And now, they have to live with the consequences of their arrogance. Now they have to sit in the absence they created. Now, they have to face the brutal truth that you were never weak, never desperate, never disposable. You were the light they chose to dim. You were the warmth they chose to neglect. You were the home they chose to abandon. And now, they are homeless. Let them sit in that. Let them feel the weight of their own choices. Let them choke on the silence they once forced upon you. Let them drown in the regret they created. Because this time, you are not coming back. This time, you are not giving them another chance to break you. This time, you are choosing yourself. And that is the most powerful thing you will ever do. Because love is not about how much pain you can endure for someone. Love is not about how many times you can forgive someone who repeatedly destroys you. Love is about respect. Love is about effort. Love is about never having to beg for the bare minimum. And if they could not see your worth when you were standing right in front of them, they do not deserve to search for it now that you are gone. So let them miss you. Let them ache. Let them regret. Let them sit in the reality they never thought they would face. Because they assumed they had time. They assumed you would always be there. They assumed that no matter how many times they hurt you, no matter how many times they ignored your worth, you would still be waiting. But the truth is that you were never waiting. You were only hoping. And hope dies the moment you realize that some people will never change, no matter how much you love them. Hope dies when you understand that no matter how much you gave, no matter how much you tried, some people will always take you for granted until you walk away for good. And now, the only thing left for them to hold on to is the memory of you, the ghost of your kindness, the shadow of your presence, the sound of your name echoing in the void they created. And that is their punishment. Not your anger, not your revenge, not your words. No, their punishment is the absence of you. Their punishment is waking up every day, knowing that they had something rare, something beautiful, something real, and they let it slip through their fingers. And you are finally free. Free from the cycle, free from the pain, free from the endless waiting, the endless hoping, the endless suffering. So walk away, not with bitterness, not with hatred, but with the quiet, unshakable knowledge that you were never the fool. They were the ones who played a game they could never win. They were the ones who took a priceless gift and treated it like nothing. They were the ones who thought they could always come back. But this time, the door is closed. This time, the chapter is over. This time, you are no longer theirs to take for granted. And that is the sweetest justice of all.